Jake and Joy. I'm Joy.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Derek. I want to be in this one too.
Yeah. This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You'll love this one. This is salad day. That's why I have the salad tongs in my hands.
Yeah.
This is a super fun recipe to make. You're gonna be able to interpret it any way you want. It's really basically a burrito bowl. I mean, everybody makes one, so I can't like really claim, but I kind of call this a Fiesta salad because it just, I don't know, it just makes me feel great. And what I love is that we're going to use a lot of produce off of our tower garden.
Yep, we grow ourselves. Okay, so the ingredients that we need for this recipe are a romaine lettuce, cilantro, lime, red onion, tomatoes, whether cherry, grape, Roma, whatever kind of tomato you like, avocado, corn, rice, already cooked and made.
Did you get the beans?
Beans, salt, pepper, and a big mixing bowl.
It's so exciting.
Yes.
So we're going to use romaine, and I love romaine because of how crunchy it is. Look at these guys. They're still alive. So we need 4 cups of romaine. And I'm just going to cut that off at the bottom. Yay. And let's see how many we're going to... This might be enough just for...
Yeah,
you think it's going to be 4 cups? Wow.
Yeah, it looks like a lot.
Now you want to do this really thin, like thin little ribbons. You know, all lettuces are great for you. They all have different antioxidant profiles. But I like romaine the best for sandwiches and also for this type of a salad.
Yeah.
Because I just love how crunchy it is.
Yep. I like the crunch also.
Yeah.
And it holds the crunch. A lot of times lettuces, like once you mix it up, it's like they get kind of floppy.
Right.
So
I mean, you make salad a lot. You make salad every single day, and you really should make salad every single day.
I do have salad every day. I don't use romaine very often though. I always forget about it. I need to.
What do you use?
I mostly do butter lettuce, mostly.
Really?
Yeah. And I put herbs and stuff. I put cilantro and parsley. I put herbs, but I mostly do butter lettuce. My favorite. My fave.
Yeah.
But it does. But it's a little more flimsy. So for something you want something hardier.
Yeah.
It's better.
And when we had, we used to take our produce to the farmer's market when you were the commercial farmer there. And what I was always amazed by was how different every lettuce smelled.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so many people are, and you know, you might think of romaine as not being that healthy, but check this out, man. This was just alive, and in a minute it's going to be in our bellies. So that's what you really want, is you want to get the produce, especially greens, right after you pick it. You want to eat it because it loses a lot of its antioxidant qualities when you pick it and put it in your refrigerator. They think about 60% of the nutrition is lost once a green is picked, which I just think is terrible. So we're going to add that to the bowl. And oh, by the way, making salad is really easy when you have the right equipment. So that's why I had my little tongs.
Yep.
And also, I love these commercial grade bowls. I have one that's even bigger, but it was
This
just
is like a kitchen supply store. You can get these.
right. We
cheap.
use these at the farm when we do cooking demonstrations, but it's really great because you can get everything into it, and you can make a salad that's going to feed a lot of people.
Yep.
So we've got 4 cups of thinly sliced romaine, and then we've got a cup of thinly sliced green cabbage. Now, cabbage is a cruciferous vegetable, and so it does everything that a cruciferous vegetable does for you, which is lowering your risk for cancer. So I love red and green cabbage. This calls for a cup. I'm just kind of eyeballing this because I want to see what the ratio looks like in the bowl. How do you decide what you're going to put in? Kind of same?
I eyeball it, but I put the same things in pretty much every day. I like the same kind of salad, which I know is not most people. I like the same stuff, and every once in a while I'll add something new. So I put like 15 things in my salads.
Now we're going to use some corn, and we're going to take the corn off of the cob. You could use frozen.
I like to do it. Can I do it?
Yeah, you do it.
I like to do it in the bowl.
Oh, that's smart.
Right, so you don't fling it all over the cutting board.
Flinging, I hate that flinging. Perfect.
We'll switch sides here.
Yeah. And I love corn, and I love it fresh. You can get it frozen, you can get it canned, but it's really great. I'm going to start cutting the tomatoes up while you do that. Why didn't we think of that before? We could both be cutting stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, so it calls for a cup of corn, and I see that she's measured it very carefully.
Yep.
I would take both of them. Now, one thing that I like to do when I'm making anything with vegetables is I keep a Ziploc bag handy so that I can put the scraps that can be used in broth in it. And then once the bag is full, all I do is cover it with water and bring it to a boil. I put some peppers in it. I make sure I've got onions and potatoes. But I make this fantastic broth that not only is really good for you, but it also saves you a lot of money.
And you could keep the bag in the freezer so that if you're worried about not getting it full before going bad, you can put it in the freezer and then do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But for me, it just reminds me that I need to make it. You're also going to use a cup of, now it called for a cup of beans, but I used a whole can, and make sure that you rinse them really well. And make sure that if you're buying canned beans, get them in a non-BPA lined can. You can make these, of course, for much less money, but you're going to end up with a big pot of beans, which if you eat a lot of beans and rice, that's awesome. But in our house, we don't necessarily do that. So I used canned beans.
It takes more time, right? So it's like all the things take time.
Right.
So you got to decide what you have time for.
Right. So we're going to add some red onion. I'm going to add that.
Yes.
We're going to add cilantro. Now, if you have people in your family that don't like cilantro,
isn't it like a genetic thing, right?
It is. Yeah.
Whether you like it or
yes,
not?
It's a genetic thing, and that
Right,
it actually
the whole cup, this whole thing.
Yeah, it actually tastes, and all of these things, you want to make sure that everybody that you're going to be serving this to likes it. An alternative for this would be something like we did with last season, I think it was, when we did the taco bar. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now you can use any.
Yeah, so you can let people put their own toppings on your salad bar.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But we're going to mix this all together because it's going to be super yummy that way.
And everyone here likes all the things.
Yes, everyone here likes all the
Except
things.
cauliflower.
Except cauliflower.
Yes, that's true.
So we're using little grape tomatoes because that's what was available. I would prefer cherries. Now we have some off of our tower as well. This great big one came off, but I like the cherries a little bit better. They hold up better in a salad, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like the flavor of the grape tomatoes are my absolute favorite.
Oh, well, you're going to love this.
Yeah,
then.
I know. I'm going to
This
love
is going to be perfect.
Those are my favorite tomatoes.
And once again, I've said this before, but lycopene is one of the main antioxidants in tomatoes, which helps to prevent against skin cancer, helps to prevent against sunburn, helps men prevent prostate cancer. So eating some tomatoes every day. Joel Fuhrman doesn't talk about tomatoes in his bombs, his G-bombs. You know, the G-bombs, if you don't remember, are the greens, beans, onion, mushroom, berries, seeds, and then we added A.
Avocado.
Avocado for a G-bomb.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about G-Bombza?
G-bombza.
G-bombza, that would work too. G-bombza, if you're from Italy. G-bombza. Yeah. You didn't like that?
I liked it.
He's like, ha, ha, ha.
It's like,
You're
that's
pirating off my joke. It's on tape. I get credit
you
for
got
it.
a problem with that? Okay, and then we're gonna cut up an avocado, Jake's favorite part.
Yep.
And she's like, what, only one avocado?
I know.
And actually it's, so just one, and it's optional. It would not be optional in Jake's world by any means.
No.
Okay, and then also while she's doing that, I'm gonna juice a lemon. I mean a lime. These are limes, aren't they?
That's a green lemon.
This is a lime, and it calls for 1/3 of a cup. So I'm going to measure it because this part I don't want to, and actually what I really like about all the ingredients in the salad is that it's like a cup of everything except for 4 cups of the romaine. So you don't have to there's not a lot to remember. It's just kind of equal parts of everything, right? If you don't have a citrus juicer like this, you need to go get one right now.
And didn't you show last season how you actually do it? Because people don't know how.
Because a lot of people put them in. Okay,
just show the other
so
piece.
people like to think that it goes in like that because that's the way it's shaped, right? But that's not how you do it. You flip it upside down and you squeeze it that way.
Yeah.
And I love these things, and you want to get a big head on them because if you get a great big lemon and it doesn't fit in it, it's no bueno. No bueno. Now this recipe does not call for any dressing on it. If you wanted to put a little bit of olive oil, you could, but the whole idea is that the avocado gives you that taste. So your taste buds, you have salt, you have thousands of taste buds, but salt, oil, and sugar are the strongest. So you want to that's what I said, oil.
Salt. Oh, fat.
Oil, fat, whatever, fat.
Yeah, right.
Fat. You calling me fat?
No, she's calling you oily.
She's calling me oily. Anyway, so this took me 2 limes to get 1/3 of a cup out. So you're going to want to have 2 limes for this if you're making the same proportions that I'm making. All right, now this is something that's going to blow.
That is definitely not enough avocado.
Well, that's how much is going in there.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so now we're going to add the lime juice. And then you're going to toss it all together using those tongs. Now, there's one last ingredient that we haven't put in here yet, and that's rice. And we've been reading some shocking things about rice. Do you want to talk about that while I do this?
Sure. Switch back.
Switch back.
My husband hates this because we've been learning that rice is extra high in arsenic for a few different reasons. So it depends on the type of rice and where you get it from. But rice as a plant naturally absorbs more arsenic from the ground, which all plants do, but rice does more. Then it also soaks up the arsenic that's in the water that it's grown in.
Right.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
I said that already. You're not listening.
Okay,
You're busy
listening.
tossing. You're busy tossing. So it really matters where you get your rice from. So like certain states allow more arsenic in their water. So the rice that comes from those states has more arsenic in it. So and also China as well. So you'd want to avoid. I think the states to avoid are Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas, and then also China. So Thailand rice is good, and I guess California is like one of the lowest amounts.
And also basmati.
Yeah. So brown rice is the most. Then white rice, and then basmati is the lowest amount. So what they recommend that you do is that you soak the rice overnight, and then you rinse it. So we did that, and you rinse it. Then you boil the rice. So I know you normally boil rice, but you let the water get absorbed by the rice. But instead, you do it like pasta. So you actually boil the rice and you strain it off. Then you're supposed to rinse it again. And then you can then eat it. And I guess that reduces it by 80%, reduces arsenic. So they say not to give babies rice or rice cereal, and that rice milk and rice cakes are on the no list. So I had never heard this before, and in talking about it, I've heard everyone is like, oh yeah, I know all about that. You can actually get pre-washed rice. So if you are trying to save time, you can get it already done. Yeah, I've got a lot of people brought that up to me. So
that's crazy. So here's how it looks. Here's how it looks. Normally you'd think, oh shit, I ruined the rice. Yeah. Because it still has water and you want it to get absorbed normally, but we're not doing that. So we're going to drain it. Now you've got to have a strainer that's pretty fine. I'm going to strain that off. Yep. So Jake, what have you guys done about your rice intake?
Well, nothing yet.
No?
Because we eat a lot of rice in our house, and with the new baby, you got to do everything that's time saving. And so we have a rice maker, like a rice cooker, that you just throw it in there and throw the water in, and it like does its thing. And so we don't use the types of rice that you shouldn't use. We use the ones that you should, but we haven't taken on the new protocol, which we
and the reason that white rice has less arsenic in it than the brown rice is because they take all the husks and everything off of it, which is what makes it more nutritious. So it's kind of like, it's really, what are you supposed to do, man?
I know.
Now it calls for a whole cup of. I soaked this, and this made like over 2 cups of rice just from 1 cup. Because it expanded that much. Because I so this is a cup. And it says that I should put a cup of dried rice, which is what I did. And this is going to add a lot of rice. You think I should just add it all?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, all right, great.
Do it.
So that was 1 cup of dried rice. And it got a lot more. So you can put this in hot or cold, it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to put probably the salt and pepper shakers out with it. And people can garnish it as they will. I know Jake is going to try to find my avocados and eat more. I just know that that's going to happen. But look at this. This is an amazing dish to bring to a party.
It looks awesome.
And it's just so full of nutrition, and it tastes really good.
And it's beautiful.
And it's like having a burrito without having sour cream and cheese and
tortilla and all that.
Yeah, and all that crap. Yeah. So it's like, oh my gosh, I'm getting all the flavors. And that's the truth with most things, is that the meat itself is not what has the flavor. It's everything that you put on top of it. So if you use the same seasonings without the meat, you're going to get the same flavor and the same feel. So that's our Fiesta salad. Why don't you go make that for lunch, bring it to a party, and let us know what you think.
We can't wait to eat it right now.
I know.